Jeez. Now, when we're talking these type of numbers, in your experience, like, are we talking like 5 out of 10 people that we deal with that could possibly be a predator? I mean, this seems reasonable.
So that's where I wanted to come back to training. Because
Okay.
in the academy, I didn't, in 98, when I was in the academy, I did not have a human trafficking class. Did you have a human trafficking class?
No.
So we have a whole bunch of cops out there that don't recognize what's right in front of their face. So since 2014, Phoenix Police Department, at least, because I created the class and had been teaching it before I retired, uh, we're instructing our officers to recognize when you pull over a vehicle, this might be a human trafficking more than just a speeding ticket or driving on suspended license. Um, or when you go to a loud noise complaint at a hotel, and we show up there, we get people's info, we say, hey, if we have to come back, somebody's going to go to jail if you guys disturb the peace again.
Yeah.
That's what we do. But in all of those instances, you could be at a hotel room where you've got a trafficker and 3 victims, and we aren't seeing it. And I actually have a Facebook Live video of a pimp bragging on his Facebook Live in the middle, or like in the middle of a parking lot near a gas station where there's 5 patrol cars dealing with whatever they're dealing with. He's in the background showing the patrol cars in the background of his live and bragging about them not seeing him. He literally screams at his prostitute. He's making money, fall all over the ground in the gas station, and just constantly talking shit about how we don't see him, and we really hadn't been, and sometimes we still aren't because we don't have any training on what to look at, what to recognize. So it's
Yeah.
definitely an issue.
And let's be honest. I think there's a lot of patrol guys that don't want to see it.
Yeah, these are
I'm
not easy cases. I mean,
Yeah.
I, over the years, had so many where I interviewed a victim for 3 hours. I did a search warrant. I arrested a bad guy. I submitted charges. The victim, an adult, decided they didn't want to press charges anymore once they got their plane ticket to go home, and the whole case went away. What a
Yeah.
waste of fucking time.
Yeah.
So definitely, it's not an easy job. I almost think that homicide's easier because your victim isn't going to disappear on you. You know where your victim's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's very because I mean, just like I told you, at least in the property crimes realm, we're always going to those hotels. That is where this stuff's being fenced or just taken to after they hit a lick. Like that is common. So we go to these shitbag hotels, and I can see the writing on the wall, but that's not my specialty. For
Mm-hmm.
one, I'm on a different specialized unit, but two, you see patrol guys going in and out of there all the time, and they are not putting any type of cases on those. One, because they're probably not trained um, to recognize it or anything like that, or two, they just don't know how. It's not that they don't recognize it; they see the writing on the wall, but they don't know how to go after it. Best they can
Yeah.
do is hope their department has a person like you to say, "Hey, we see this activity. Can you guys go do something on it?"
Yeah, that, or if we, because we used to do briefings, so we would show up in briefings, third shift, day shift,
Hit
you
up
know,
roll calls and
swing.
stuff.
And yeah, and we would be, introduce ourselves. We are the detectives that put our number and our name on the whiteboard, but we're actually going to answer the phone.
Yeah.
Or your boss will call like the General Investigations Bureau, and they'll call us out because we have 2 detectives on standby 24/7. So through grant funding, we're able to do that, and we'll respond out. I was on my high 3. I'm going to definitely come out for overtime. So
Right.
we definitely encouraged officers to, you know what, if you show up, you got a kid, even if you don't have them disclose and they suspect, let's interview them. Or you've got a kid that's constant runaway, you've recovered them multiple times, they were found in a bad area of town near like a known area for prostitution, let's interview them.
Okay, so
Simple as that.
that's your advice to the patrol guys out there. If you're seeing these types of things, let your vice team know. Let
Yeah.
let
Yeah.
somebody in that realm. I'm fortunate. I got a department that actually has, a trafficking um, team, and we also have a vice team. We have two separate. So,
Yeah.
and they help each other out all the time. So it's very cool. But Not everybody's got those. So if you're at a small town agency, at least get Heidi's number. I'm sure she can
Yeah.
guide you in.
I've actually had that. I did a Facebook Live for another female officer's Facebook, and one of the girls called me from like, I want to say it was Minnesota or something, and she was going to be interviewing a girl the very next day, and she's like, they're having me do it because I'm the only female on my department, and I don't know what to say to this kid or how to ask them questions. And so I actually have like a whole, for only officers, obviously, a whole interview questions list of things to ask during a child sex trafficking interview. I teach a class on it. Besides all of the, working for Phoenix Police Department, I am an instructor for the National Criminal Justice Training Center, Fox Valley Technical College. And so I'm a forensic interviewer. I teach how to interview child sex trafficking victims, how to interrogate these kind of suspects, and put these cases together with corroborative evidence to submit for successful prosecution. So, training is huge. These cases are not easy. You got to have, put in some effort. And even patrol guys, you can call a detective and they'll do it. All you'll have to do is transport the victim for us, or maybe stand by at the hotel
Yeah.
so our evidence doesn't get stolen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. 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 You ain't lying.